What's up, guys, and welcome to the second edition of NASCAR Highlights. This week we're going to be taking a look at the Richmond race, which just happened on Sunday, March 31st, and we had some interesting things happen. I think it was a really interesting race, a couple of things that I haven't really seen in NASCAR before, and it was a really good race. Some things that I didn't expect that we're going to go through, including a surprise pit road penalty that really shook things up, and I was getting ready to declare a surprise win for a specific driver, and it ended up not happening. That's the beauty of NASCAR. You never know what you're going to get week after week. But let's take a look at the highlights for this week at Richmond International Raceway.
See, for 400 laps in Richmond, let's find out. Green flag.
All right, so they're starting on wet weather tires. This is maybe one of a couple times this has happened in NASCAR history. And look how slow they're going into this corner. It's almost comical. They're trying to figure out what they can do here to gain some speed.
See them all just going into that corner, feeling it out, then going.
I mean, they're going so slow compared to how they would.
Not baby it in there. Elliott right to his outside.
Chase Elliott to the point. Chase Elliott grabs the lead here.
Back there.
So you can already tell they're going a little bit faster.
Well, now you're seeing
and look at Chase Elliott taking that groove up top.
That corner had this much grip. Now we're going to go to the next corner, push it a little bit harder, and we saw guys all the way up against the wall. And the best thing that I see right now is a very limited amount of spray, which is vision is everything that everybody was worried about.
Business is picking up. It's getting faster. You're saying it's drying out. That's exactly.
So you can see right there, you can definitely see, if you look right here in this part of the screen, you're going to see a little gray line. Now, for you beginners in NASCAR especially, you're not going to have seen this because NASCAR has only run probably less than 10 races in the rain at this point, and on the oval, it's only been a couple. But look at this gray line right here. So we're 23 laps in, and that is basically going to be the track drying out. So it's a little obvious to you guys that are experts, but this actually really changes things. So something major that happens, as we're probably going to see here, is rain tires. Why do they call them rain tires? Because they're good on rain. Now, when that track dries out, so when you have rain tires, they have tread in them, okay? They have little like pieces of tread. And when they touch dry concrete like that, it shaves the tread off. That's why regular tires, they're just bald. So when you're running rain tires and it's dry, it absolutely obliterates them. So we're gonna see how that comes into play here.
Times are showing fastest lap early in the race was 23:87. Now 22 laps in, we're in the 90s, right close to that, Kevin.
Well, now is when it's going to start getting interesting because the lap times are really fast. We knew the rain tires would have a lot of grip, but as we see that track starting to lighten up on the bottom of the racetrack and get drier, that's when it starts to become really hard on those tires, and you're going to start seeing a lot of people start to wear that right front tire out.
Yeah, correct. So basically, you hear Harvick talking about how when this track dries up, it basically creates a situation where now you got to think about changing the tires because you can't just continue out on that because then you're going to have a guy coming into pit getting the fresh tires, and that's going to mess up the race, and then you're going to have track position. So definitely these crew chiefs, they plan for this track drying out and getting back on the regular setup of tires.
Coming up, knocking on the door, those Hendrick drivers running side by side, looking to pounce on both of them.
Battle for third. And there's the caution.
Little competition yellow.
Take a
after
breath
30
and
laps.
we'll take a break. We got 30 laps in.
Yeah, so
to
NASCAR's
the Toyota Owners 400 in Richmond.
So NASCAR's not really used to running on these rain tires.
And they switch to dry.
They brought out a competition yellow just to make sure
get
that
back
things
to green.
stayed good. So you can really see that bottom line coming in. It's like there's this like gray stripe around the track right here. Okay,
Well, that's what I was talking about.
See
Clint.
that?
You see Bubba Wallace up on the outside right there. It may look a little bit wet, but see him try to keep Kyle Larson
Yeah, you
pinned
can
down as
definitely
much
see that
as
gray
possible
stripe
because he
coming in.
knows above that line is going to be slicker than he probably wants it to be.
Sure is. Kyle Larson just barely holding on.
So you see Kyle Larson. Usually he'd be a little bit lower at this point. But what he's basically trying to do is he's trying to force Bubba Wallace out this way so that Bubba Wallace, now they're on the dry tires. Those dry tires, remember I said the rain tires, they like the rain. The dry tires, they're bald. They're just slicks. They like the dry. So if he can get him to get any moisture on these bald, slick tires, that's not going to be good. So he's taking a little bit of a wider entry to try to force Bubba out. Now, these two do have a history, so you have to keep in mind, Larson could really just shove him out like that, but I think there's a little bit of psychological stuff in play. He doesn't really want to upset Bubba too much because, let's face it, Bubba's got a temper.
On that bottom, putting the pressure on him. He's definitely holding down tight.
This next-gen car is not as sensitive to that as the old car was.
Now, one more thing I want to just note real
is
quick is watch Bubba. So you basically see coming into this corner, we're going to put it in slow speed. Let's just play it in 0.25 speed. So Bubba Wallace, he's basically trying to pinch him down. Now, why is all of a sudden Bubba Wallace trying to pinch Larson down? Wasn't Larson trying to bring him up? Because all this gray line here is getting dry, but this is still wet. So now he's doing the opposite. He's trying to get Larson's tires wet before he even gets into the corner. So it's kind of a genius move on his part. Not sure if it was something that just came to his head or something that the team told him to do, but either way, it's a good strategy. So let's see it in slow motion. So he's pinching him down there so that his tires are wet before the corner, so that now he has a fast run to the exit. Okay. So now let's go back to regular speed.
But the thing that I noticed, Clint, is Kyle Larson is having to go down the bottom of the straightaway. Better getting into the corner than it is on the outside, and Bubba fights the opposite in the corners.
Well, he tried the late apex.
The second groove up.
He got to dry either. Continues to go back.
Oh, Barry into Suarez.
Nice
save. How about this? Is he going to?
Almost saved it. Almost.
Wow.
Honestly, he could have crashed that car, to be honest.
Caution a wave at lap 64.
Yeah, he could have crashed it, but it did a good job. Now, even in the wet, I would say that's a good job. You know, probably in the dry, he would have saved that, but pretty decent thing. Now, my question here was,
man, Barry,
is it because of the rain that he ran into Suarez, Josh Berry? I'm not sure. Let's take a look.
On a roll.
So Josh Berry coming into the corner. Checking up for the corner.
You can see him lift out of the gas.
I don't know. I think Suarez came down a little bit.
This unfortunately got in the back of him.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like a racing deal, to be honest.
Arguing about our fantasy teams.
Well, I think you're in trouble, Kevin.
Here we go.
All right, so end of stage one here. We got Larson in the lead, Bubba Wallace in second, Bowman third, Truex fourth, and Logano fifth. So that's gonna add another stage win to Larson. That's another playoff point, and some more points for the season.
All right, stage two. Larson Wallace back to green.
Whoa, Bubba Wallace got loose.
So that track's a little bit slick still. You got to understand.
Back to his outside though.
Yeah, we saw this last time, Clint. We saw Bubba Wallace be right on the side of Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson has a little better idea of where the grip level is this time, but Bubba Wallace fights back on the outside. Going to think better of it and go to the bottom.
Maybe a crossover, almost there.
Well, I think you got to be really careful about using up your tires on the restarts. We're back to dry racetrack, and this racetrack is going to settle in, and we're going to see a typical Richmond race as we get 2.5, 3 grooves that we see dry in the corners.
As you see Joey's just slipping all over the place. Track's still wet, guys.
Caution. Tell you what's there is a caution.
So here's Kyle Busch.
Caution at lap 1.
Always going fast under caution for some reason.
This is the third caution of the night.
What's going on here? He's like, look at his eyes. He's like, what just happened, guys? Can someone save me, please?
Like, and Kyle Busch bounced off the wall. We're waiting on word from NASCAR,
Kyle Busch
but
with the
that
wall
may
bounce.
be the reason for the caution.
He's trying to get extra speed out of it. Here we go. Watch Kyle Busch. I remember
way
this
up
moment.
out of the groove. You see him.
Watch. He's trying to get extra speed here.
It's like a brake issue or maybe a right front down, Kevin.
I don't know. It kind of broke his car.
Definitely went straight.
It doesn't work like the video games.
It's definitely not down.
I'm just kidding, by the way.
Truex, Logano, Berry, and Bell.
Now you see Martin Truex with a huge jump on the restart right there.
Yeah, nice start from Truex.
Way up out of the groove.
Oh, still getting hit.
He's trying to get back down. Man,
yeah, once you get hit on Richmond, you get shuffled out, and they're like angry dogs, just like no one's going to let you back in.
Now, a number of drivers did not pit on that caution to get back onto the lead lap. They include Bowman, Gilliland, Ty Dillon, Stenhouse, Burton, and Suarez.
I think Bowman was the one that didn't need that caution the most. Really hurt him. Had a good car running in the top 5. Untimely caution.
Yeah, so Larson
Well,
gets pinned back in the pits a bit, but now he's fighting back forward.
And make passes, and so far if he can get by
doing a good job
Bell,
too of
I
it.
think he
Back
wants
in
to
the
do
top
this
4
as
for
early as
Larson.
possible to not lose touch with the leaders.
I think he'll be fine. He'll get the free pass at the end of the stage.
Keep going. You know that.
Well,
yeah.
what he's saying is.
So
you
watch
won't have
this
to start
battle
the
here.
tail end
1
of
lap to
longest
go here in the
lap.
stage.
The lucky dogs.
Alex Bowman
He
trying to
wants
stay on the
not
lead
be
lap
He
here.
wants to not be the lucky
It
dog.
is
He wants
not.
to be on.
It is not in the leader's interest to have another to keep cars in the lead lap. If you're the leader, you want to lap as many cars as possible to eliminate any possible contenders. So watch as they come to the line. A little photo finish here for Alex Bowman and Truex. You're not going to be able to see this visually, but Truex got him by about 3 or 4 hundredths of a second. Job done for Truex. That's one less car he's going to have to deal with, and increases his shot of winning.
Lap down, I'm going for it.
Absolutely, you
Yep.
want to pin him a lap down.
Correct.
A good jump on Truex behalf is going to be key. The 5 car, can he stay door to door with him, keep him held down, take his exit away off of 2.
Well, Martin Truex saw the 5 car had laid back right there, and he went
Correct.
way late in
Correct.
the restart zone.
Let's go back and check this out, okay? I want to analyze something that Martin Truex did here, okay? So, we're going to go in slow motion here and check this out. So, let's go in half speed. So, watch this. Larson is kind of hanging back so that he can gun it right before Truex. Truex is a 20-year vet. He ain't going to let that slide, okay? So, Truex, instead of hitting the gas here, okay, instead of hitting the gas right there, he waits so that Larson can kind of go a little bit, and then he hits the gas so that he takes away Larson's jump. Now watch what that does to his exit, because he basically hit the reverse Uno on Larson.
Laid back right there, and he went way late in the restart zone, and that was always a tough one for me with the wheel spin. But when you're the lead, that choice anywhere in that box.
Chastain, every restart.
So look at that lead he
Mellow
built
move
from doing
way
that
up to
reverse
the
Uno card
outside.
on Larson.
And this time he's got a lot of company back there.
Now we're looking at the top 5.
Yes, sir.
It's
Looking to the
Truex,
outside.
Larson, Logano, Hamlin,
Hamlin.
Bell. These guys are pretty
Like a
stacked in the top 5 the
lap or
entire
so for
race. There
Larson's
wasn't really
car
much
to
competition for these
come
guys.
in.
Well, you heard Joey Logano talk about not taking off good on the last restart. It seems like he's in a much better position to take off a little bit better this time.
No more
Look at
comments
Hamlin,
on the
bro.
break shake.
So
He's been
inspirational.
very focused on the 5 of Kyle Larson.
All right,
Has
so
not
last
said
pit
a
stop.
word since the
We're going to
caution
see
way back at the end
the
of
battle
last
between
stage. He's
Truex and
going
Larson kind of go. Now watch the exit
Denny
here.
Hamlin leads
Not
for
sure
the
what happened
first
here,
time
but
today.
Truex ends up in front of him.
With just 63 laps to go.
I'm sorry,
Look at that,
Larson
boys.
ends up in front of
Kyle
Truex,
Larson got him in
and
the
Truex
pits.
was leading before.
That's
Excuse me.
exactly what we were talking about there. I don't know how it happened. We're going to have to go back and dissect it, but he darn sure got him beat in the pits.
Well, we saw him
Huge.
We saw them come on the pit road together, and that gap had to happen in the pit stall.
Look at them boys.
Nice, they're celebrating.
Come on,
Guys changing those tires and putting
Yeah,
fuel in
sometimes the
car,
pit crew
so-
can make or break it. This is not
Now,
an
for the
individual sport.
moment, those two are the first cars 1 lap down.
All right, so I'd like to see something right here. I want you guys to see what's going on here, okay? So let's look at the racing line, okay? Where is Martin Truex's car pointed, okay? His car is technically pointed this way. Kyle Larson is more pointed this way. Now, his eyes, I'm sure if you looked at his eyes, are pointed this way towards the apex of the corner. Why is Martin Truex doing this, okay? Martin Truex pitted later, or he has fresher tires than Kyle Larson. He's trying to take advantage and get past Kyle Larson as soon as possible, because when you have those fresh tires, you want to exploit them as much as humanly possible. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to take a late apex pass, meaning he's trying to pass him on the exit of the corner however he can. Larson already understands this because these guys, they're thinking 10 seconds in the future. So now watch how this kind of rolls out. It's kind of interesting to see for me.
Hamlin the leader, and Christopher
So he
Bell.
takes the late apex. Now watch this.
On the lead lap to recycle
That momentum down right there, all the way into the inside. That is an aggressive pass. Okay.
Larson's trying to hold him.
Larson says, "All right, I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna see how this thing shakes out."
Larson's car just hasn't been able to take off early in the run.
Awesome pass by Truex. I love that. He planned that. He was
got on the ground right
there. He was a couple steps ahead in real time.
He had to go while he had the advantage on Kyle Larson, because that evens out as the run goes on.
Love that. Love NASCAR racing, to be honest.
Larson's pit stop 0.8 of a second faster, but Truex takes it back. Here's the race off pit road. Down around the corner from where we are on the front straightaway.
Oh, pushed him out. Truex had to lift. I don't necessarily think he had him beat. He crowded him.
Gets to his back bumper. He moves. Trouble.
All right. So a couple things before we take a look at this last pass here. This last caution here. So one thing I really wanted to discuss was I was watching the race live. I thought Christopher Bell was going to win this race. They didn't cover this in the highlights, but Christopher Bell was a threat to win the race, the entire race, I felt like. And you know what happened? He sped coming out of pit road. So as I'm getting ready to think about who am I going to put on the top of my power rankings, who's going to be, I'm thinking Christopher Bell, man. He might have a shot to be at the top of those. Let me tell you something. When you speed coming out of pit road in Richmond, that kills your momentum. Not just throughout the race, but throughout the season. That stuff sticks with you because you will have these few moments in life where you come out and speeding on pit road. You know what? I know that kid's going to bounce back. That guy's going to bounce back. But that's something that just haunts you. Oh, man, I had a chance to win Richmond in the Cup Series, and I sped on pit road coming out. Not fun. Not fun for Christopher Bell.
Straight away, Larson.
So caution comes out with 2 laps to go, ruining Truex's race. He's pissed.
Larson right there.
He's like, bro,
and that
you serious?
Changes everything.
It sure does.
With 2 laps to go, and Truex more than half a lap away from taking the white flag, after which the next flag would end the race. We have a caution.
There's Joe Gibbs. He's like, are you serious, bro? We're going to give this to Logano? Seriously? Is Logano really gonna beat us? We've dominated all day. So watch, 2 best friends here.
Kyle got loose.
Larson getting loose,
Kyle
and then Bubba saying,
all
right, I'm not going to let...
Bubba was just anticipating him having that same pace to get in
maybe a little
behind him
payback
there,
from Las
and
Vegas.
Just misjudged it as
I
Kyle lifted.
I think they're probably past that.
Some history there. Quite a bit of history between those two.
Hear that? History. History is important, guys. We're not just racing in a vacuum here.
To engrave the
Chris
trophy.
Truex's people. Fuck. I read his lips.
Not at all
he said,
what James Small wanted to
fuck.
see.
What a turn of events here. Martin Truex Jr. on the radio right away. You got to be kidding me. They said, come on, bring it to us. Same with Joe.
All right, now watch these pit stops here. Watch Truex's.
Step up and perform and make it happen. You see the 11 in as well as the 23.
Okay. They obviously cut away for no reason. A little bit of a slow pit stop.
On the 19. See the 22 up beside him. Keep an eye on.
There goes Hamlin.
It's going to be close here, guys.
Hamlin
He's going to get him.
Hamlin gets him.
Point. How about this?
Hamlin gets him. Love it. Love it. Love the haters' tears.
Denny
Hell yeah, boys.
Twice for 10 laps tonight, and he comes out of pit road with the lead.
Hamlin to the point.
Joe Gibbs Toyotas.
Let's see if he can hold on
the front row.
NASCAR Overtime here at Richmond, baby.
Credit One Bank, green, white, checker. Logano and Larson, Byron and Elliott.
I'm sorry, guys. Hamlin's my favorite driver.
Here we go.
Not sorry.
Denny with a early launch
All right,
in the restart
let's do some. Let's do some analysis. Let's do some analysis. Okay. So, Denny Hamlin. Okay, what he's trying to do, essentially, he is trying to cut off Truex's run coming out of the corner, not coming into the corner. So what he does, watch this. He is a little bit higher, okay, because he essentially wants to pin Truex up top so he can't roll the center and then come out with the run coming out of 2. So he's trying to crowd him up. I call this crowding. You want to crowd your opponent up if you got a couple laps to go so that they can't make that run on the outside and get you coming out of turn 2. Let's take a look.
Well, you see Martin chase him all the way down there with the side draft.
Okay.
Trying to
watch the lack of run. See, he crowds him up. Now watch the lack of run
Denny ran
coming
on the
into 2.
racetrack a little bit. Still there, side by
It's
side.
beautiful. Technique perfect.
Still holding
Okay?
up on the outside, Martin Truex Jr.
He kind of does it again. No run
Logano's
coming out of
car
turn
takes
4.
off good too. Look at the
He's
inside
gone.
Truex.
White flag, Denny Hamlin. Coming to win number 53 in his career for my favorite driver, the Den. I'm calling the Den Dabber. Young
Truex
Denny.
trying to hold off Larson.
So-
Logano
So Truex is like, bro, I'm out.
Well, he didn't like.
I'm
what he
retiring
saw.
tonight.
Truex come down door slammed down the back straightaway.
Denny Hamlin,
your winner.
Home
Hamlin, your
track
winner
win
at
for
Richmond.
Hamlin in
That was
the
a good
Toyota
one.
Owners
Not gonna
400
lie.
Crash in turn 1.
So Truex is
As
pissed at
Larson and
everyone.
Truex got together again after the flag.
Wow, way to go, guys.
Thank you.
Crew.
Thank you, pit crew. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Man, Martin's mad at everybody.
Bro, you should have just wrecked him.
I didn't see what Denny Hamlin did wrong.
All right, guys. Well, that's a second version of highlights in NASCAR. I'm going to have a lot of other types of content. I'm interested to see kind of some feedback you guys have of these type of videos. I know I spent a little bit of time analyzing, but, I think I have some good perspectives on racecraft. And, for me as a racer, it's really important to, if you guys are beginners, to just show you common things that happen on the racetrack and kind of get to see, I'm not like a pro or anything like that, but I definitely have a perspective on why drivers do certain things. I'm trying to learn every day about this stuff just so I can bring you the best educational type content. But I also love this stuff. I'm passionate about NASCAR. I'm actually trying to become a NASCAR driver. And my first step in this is to build a following so that ultimately a sponsor can come in and back me. But this has been my second version of race reactions. And so I'm just going to take a look at the highlights of each race each week after they do them and share them with you guys, share my thoughts. If you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know some suggestions down below. Leave a subscribe, leave leave any comments, leave a like, share this if you guys want. But for now, that's going to be all. I hope you guys have an excellent week. I'm glad to be able to watch these races and share them with people like you, like-minded people who love NASCAR. And I hope you guys have an excellent week. And I will catch you guys up on the next version of highlights next week at Martinsville. I appreciate you guys. Bye-bye. Ciao for now.